Well, as we are kicking off our 4th of July weekend, you can see, first of all, I have a special guest here this morning, but we are getting ready to celebrate all weekend long. But one important thing we don't want to forget are our sweet furry friends. And joining us now to share some tips is Larissa Bryan from Dogtopia, Alamo Heights location. And Larissa brought this sweet little girl, Ducky.
Yes, good morning.
And I'm in love, as you can tell. Larissa, let's talk about this, because there's nothing that I hate to see more than animals that are scared from the fireworks and they run away, and then families are just distraught because they can't find their pets. Yeah. What are some tips that we can remember? You think it would be common sense, but people forget. So what are some really good tips to make sure that your dogs are safe when those fireworks start going off?
So some of the things that we can do is, first of all, you really want to tire them out during the day when there's no fireworks going off, whether that's taking them for a really long walk or going to the park or doing some indoor play like Dogtopia. Then the other thing you can do is create a safe environment for them, somewhere where they have a secure blanket or toy. Also, keeping them distracted. So things like leaving the TV on or keeping lights on in the house and just sitting with them. If you're calm, they're definitely going to be calm. And then also some of the things you can do is honestly remove them from the situation altogether. And some of the things you can do for that is, for instance, boarding. We are doing boarding at our location this holiday season. And you can bring them on in, and we'll have certified canine coaches there to play games and keep them busy while the fireworks are going off.
And keep them busy, so important. And talk about Larissa too. What can we look for? I know one of my dogs is terrified by thunder. I mean, that should be an indicator right there that fireworks might be even more of something to create that anxiety.
Oh, definitely. I have one at home that will do anything to get out. So some of the things you can look for is the pacing, the panting, the hiding. If they are hiding, sometimes they can get really just tense, and you're going to want to let them kind of chill out wherever they found safety. But also, like I said, just sit with them and hang out, because typically if you're there with them, they're going to be a lot more comfortable than if they're alone.
And we're talking about fireworks, but also a lot of people, crowds may trigger those anxieties with some pets. What would you suggest there? Because if you're like me, you hate to leave them at home by themselves, especially on the holiday.
Yes, I would definitely suggest if you cannot be with your furry friend this holiday season, Dogtopia Alamo Heights is doing a sleepover event where you can bring your pet in, and we'll have canine coaches there playing games, watching movies, and hanging out with the dogs all night long.
And what a great thing for little pups like Ducky here. Is so sweet. And Larissa, before we go, let's talk about all year, because I mentioned thunder, but we want to think we're responsible pet owners, but there's other things that might trigger anxieties with our pets. Can you talk about that and what you can do to help them?
Yeah, so sometimes when your pets are really anxious or scared of things, the best thing to do is get them exposed to different outdoor elements, indoor elements, things that can be kind of scary. And the best way to do that is, one, socialization, and two, you can take them to things like Dogtopia, where they have furry friends they can play with and other people that they get to meet and stuff like that. There's always something to do at Dogtopia, whether it's the pool parties, bacon bubble parties, tasty treats, and we always have certified canine coaches there to supervise your play.
And that was one question before we go. I have a little timid poodle at home, and she gets nervous around big dogs. So in an environment like that where they're around other pets, how do you guys work with those little scaredy cats like this one here is a little nervous too?
So all of our play groups are separated by size and temperament, so that all of the dogs feel comfortable, but also we have the certified canine coaches at Dogtopia that supervise play and make sure that everybody's safe and comfortable.
Perfect. And once again, July 4th, Dogtopia is hosting the July sleepover at the Alamo Heights location. We got the number there right there to RSVP and make sure your pup has a safe celebration on July 4th. And Larissa and Ducky, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
I think she's finally okay now. She was trying to talk into my mic earlier. I think she was trying to take over your interview, Larissa. All right, well, we're going to send it right on over to Maggie.
Oh my goodness.
See what's happening outside.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you all about that. How cute was she, guys? The cutest thing ever. And I actually have one of mine coming home soon. I'll have a little puppy my own. So really good tips, but let's get straight to your 4th of July forecast. This is what you can expect.